Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the Ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
I found this quote by Alan Ray Hart. He calls himself a hillbilly photographer. Listen to this carefully. Avoid ticks and grouchy people, liberals too, but then I repeat myself. I love it. Good morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith, and God bless America on a Thursday. Morning, morning, morning. Call in with the Pledge of Allegiance. Be proud, be proud. And a good morning to you. Welcome to Zeb at the Ranch on this Thursday, November 9th. And, of course, I'm Zeb Bell with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you. Great big time to get ready for wintertime driving. And also some of our great advertisers like Western Waste Services, always at your disposal. Call, get on the route service, 734-6969. Right now, let's go to the phone line, have our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
Well, good morning again, sir.
You the man?
Yeah, I figured I'd do the pledge this Thursday.
I'd appreciate it. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you, my friend. And now it's time for our weather forecast, brought to you by K&R Rental at 256 South, 300 west of Hayburn. Number to call, 678-3122. They open the doors at 7 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday, till 5:30. And then on Saturday, 7 to 2. They've got all the best of rental tools and equipment over there for you. You can finish any doggone construction project you've got with tools and equipment from K&R Rental. Thank you, Roger and the crew. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Going to be a little bit on the wet side for the next couple of days. Here is your Thursday weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch. 20% chance of rain showers is what we're expecting for today, looking at a high of 53. A little bit on the breezy side for today as well. Tonight we do have a slight chance of rain showers with a low of 35. For tomorrow, more rain showers are in the forecast, about a 40% chance, high of 52 with an overnight low of 34. For Veterans Day Saturday, we are expecting some rain showers in the morning. Those are going to give way to mostly sunny by Saturday afternoon, high of 49. Clear skies for Saturday evening with a low of 30. For Sunday, mostly sunny skies, high of 51, and clear skies for Sunday night with a low of 32. That is your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
Oh, Gina, thank you very much. She does a great job. Appreciate her. They're trusted by many residents to provide the best tools and equipment whenever and wherever they are needed. I'm talking about K&R Rental. Roger and the crew over there, like I said, they get up early in the morning to start serving you right over there in Hayburn at 256 South, 300 West. Number to call, find out more. 678-3122, K&R Rental. Merv May, come on in here. Let's sell some cattle.
All right, hey, good set of steer calves there. Here to get all the 31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, 32, 2.5, 3.
Oh, that's the chant of the world's best auctioneer. I could listen to Merv all day long. Merv May at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Number to call for sale information and cattle consignments, 678-9411. Merv May, K. Draghi, and Lance Udy. The sale that works for you starting this morning at 10 a.m. Here's just a little bit of the run going through the sale ring today. Woo-hoo, great sale. Greg Barkdahl from Coldwater is bringing in 120 head of really fancy, good-looking 500 to 600 pound calves. They're dandies. Wes Goff. Hello, Wes. How are you and the whole family? Please, I hope Rose is doing well. Over in Rupert, 34 head of 850 pound heifers. Ward Dairy of Burley's bringing in 120 head, that is, of 7 to 850 pound Holstein steers. Neil Evans out of Grouse Creek bringing in, let's take a look here, 40 head of calves. Then we've got a consignment of Elison Ranches over at Holbert bringing in a semi-load of 500 pound calves, good ones. HD Dunn Ranch up at Driggs bringing in a semi-load of butcher cows. And we got some dairy butcher cows coming in from Oak Valley Dairy, Acme Dairy, and TLK Dairy. I'm telling you, this is going to be a ripping good sale at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard. Starting at 10 o'clock this morning at 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Number to call is 678-9411. The sale that works for you. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, he gets the steer calves there here to get $31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, 32, 2.5, 3.5, 134, 4.5, 5.5, 5.5, 135, 50, 135, 1.5, selling $35. Zeb Bell gets bottom.
No, thank you, Merv. I appreciate it. Right now, I also want to issue some thank yous, and I was not here yesterday, as was obvious. I had to go to Salt Lake City and go to the doctor, and quite frankly, I want to say thank you so much to Sharon Hardy Mills that jumped in and did the program and did a great job. So I want to say thank you to her. And, of course, Wheels every day. He's always over there just flipping the buttons and everything. So thanks to both of them for covering for me on yesterday. Thanks, Sharon. Don't forget, too, Ramsey Heating and Electric at 20... Excuse me. I've been stifling that cough since the beginning of the program, and then all of a sudden it come up and haunted me. Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. The number to call is 678-0459. They're open 7:30 in the morning till 5 Monday through Friday. Literally all your heating, cooling, and electrical needs. I mean, man, have they got an inventory over there. And don't forget, if your furnace needs to work for you, you need to do something nice for your furnace, and that's replace the filters. They got all the furnace filters right there at Ramsey Heating and Electric, 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. You stop in and see them today. I want to just give you a little heads up that next week on Thursday, a week from today, the 16th, we will have Lunch Bunch. Don't forget that. Next Thursday will be Lunch Bunch for November. It is our Thanksgiving Lunch Bunch, and we're all going to get together, and boy, we've got a lot to be thankful for. At Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner, 611 North Overland in Burley, or the other location at 291 Pole Line Road in Twin Falls. I mean, breakfast, lunch, dinner, anytime, all the time. Great people, fantabulous menu items. You're going to love the food. At Denny's Restaurant in Burley. Yep, 611 North Overland in Burley, America's Diner. You know, I've got to say this before we go any further. Congratulations to the people, like I said the other day before I left, that have put their name out on the ballot. They put forth the effort to go around and politic and visit and shake hands and everything for the various offices. And congratulations to all the winners. And also kudos to all the other people involved. Those that didn't win, they deserve a good slap on the back, too, because they were involved in trying to help their community. Thank you very much. You know, this is so maddening to me, what I'm going to talk about here first and foremost this morning. And I want you to chime in, because if we keep our mouths shut and we don't stand up with a voice of, no, you are not going to take our national anthem away, it may be gone. In California, the California chapter of the NAACP needs to shut up and go sit in the corner. Certain, and I'm going to be very cautious about how I use this word because I will not hyphenate Americanism. Okay? You don't like it? I don't care. Certain Negroes want our anthem discarded because they say it is racist and has very dividing overtones. Now, I listened to this with great interest yesterday and read all I could about what their complaint was. And these certain Negroes are complaining about the third verse of the national anthem. The third verse. Now, let's all try to keep in mind that this song by Francis Scott Key was written over 200 years ago. But, oh, the left. Oh, they want to take apart anything that's the foundation of America, discard it, burn it, trash it, and start over in their favor. I have a copy of the national anthem right in front of me, all 4 verses. And I'm going to read the third stanza of this song. And where is that band who so vauntingly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country should leave us no more? Their blood has washed out their foul footsteps' pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. And the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Now, think about what I read there, and about the 6th line down, no refuge could save the hireling and slave. 200 years ago, this song was written, and keep in mind, it was a different lifestyle, it was a different mode of living, etc. 200 years ago. Oh yeah, we've got great 2020 vision looking in the rear view mirror as to what they all did so wrong 200 years ago. Times changed, people changed, but now these NAACP members want to absolutely trash the national anthem because of that one line that they say is racist and it's dividing. And they condemn the national anthem. And they're saying that only white supremacists and white nationalists could support it. Do you see the division that's being caused in this country now? Thanks, Colin Kaepernick. Your calls, your thoughts. I want to talk about this a little bit because I am adamant that our national anthem, I think, is the best of any national anthem. Give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Well, I'm waiting for your call to get things started off this morning, and please don't shirk your duty. That's the only thing I ask you to do is just call and talk to me a little bit. I want to remind you about a wonderful, wonderful place for seniors. It's a place for senior living, Pomerell Place. You don't have to live at home alone. You don't have to not get up and prepare your meals anymore. You don't have to, did I take that medicine this morning or not? You don't have to worry about, I don't want to go in there. I might slip and fall on that throw rug. Listen, senior living offers the ability for seniors to maintain their independence both safely and comfortably at a Pomerell Place. A place for senior living, 1301 Bennett Street in Burley. Call the number 677-8212. Really nice people. By the way, don't forget Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox offering home comfort systems to keep you cozy out there. Let me tell you, the weather's going to change, get nasty, and you're going to walk inside your house and go, oh boy, this is nice. And you might get up to possibly a $1,600 rebate on Lennox home comfort systems. Check it out at Ramsey Heating and Electric today, 678-0459. You be sure and get a hold of them today. All right, come on, let's start the process here this morning. Do you really want to see our national anthem changed or basically put out to pasture? No more? Do you really want to have that happen? I don't. I'll fight it. I will not acknowledge it. If ever the NAACP and others had enough power to really get rid of our national anthem and start more division in our country by saying, oh, well, that's just a white nationalist song, we'll just all take a knee or we'll sit down. Holy cow, are we in for a major race riot crisis in this country? However, this morning, also in adjacency to that story that was on the news at about 4:30 this morning, one very smart, and again, I don't hyphenate Americanism, one very smart Negro spokesperson said this morning, stop this foolishness, stop trying to trash America and remake America. Stop it. God bless that man. I did not get his name, but he is oh so right. Stop trashing America, its values, its history, our forefathers. Stop it. Your thoughts. Come on, give me a call. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. This is an important subject. I want you to give me a call. Don't forget Dino's Septic Service in Rupert. You know, every time I talk about these folks, yep, I chuckled again. I can't help it. They do the job that you and I, no, I don't want to do that job. They do the job that we don't want to do. They, of course, pump your septic tanks, and they clean out the sewer and the sink drain lines. Ooh. And I'm telling you, backhoe services, liquid waste removal, all of this and more with Dino's Septic Service. Number in Rupert, 436-6526. Burley, 678-1638. Fast, fair, friendly service with that great big truck that says, smells cargo on the way. Dino's Septic Service. Morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Ted.
Yes, sir.
Glad to hear your voice again.
Hey, you know, I owe you an apology, and I want to do it up front. I noticed that you called last evening, but I did not have my cell phone with me, and I noticed it this morning, and I did not think that you wanted me to call you at 4:05.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. But what I was calling you because I think I have a new client for you, for your advertising.
Okay.
And it is the car store in Burley, and it's under new management by my son, Tim.
Well, how nice, and I appreciate that. And I will, Wheels, we got a little feedback running over there in the conversation, if you would, please. Keith, that's very nice of you. You have been a good friend of my wife and I in our program, and I know that when I was all dinged up last summer, you and your wife, Nancy, came by to visit. That you're really a nice person. I appreciate that.
Well, and I appreciate that compliment. And if you want me to, I'll drive out there and see you every day.
Okay, just bring food.
Well, that's a necessity, isn't it? But, yes, if you want to call me back after the show,
I will do that. Okay. Give me just about maybe 30 minutes after the show. I kind of gather everything up and open the mail, and I will give you a call. Okay.
That'll be fine. And now back to what you were talking about, our national anthem.
Yes.
Our national anthem is a national treasure.
I agree with that.
It really is.
I agree with that.
And if you listen to it, and, you know, you could read it or whatever, but I don't see anything in there that's distasteful.
Absolutely not. You know, Keith, I've said this story maybe, I don't know, half a dozen times on the program before, and I'm going to say it again. I think it's fitting right now. This isn't boasting, it's the truth. I have probably heard the national anthem more than most anybody in this country. Seriously, because of all the events that I've been tied up in for the last 47 years with my announcing career that goes all over the United States, Canada, Spain, you name it, I've been there. And when I was at the Olympics, announcing at the Olympics in 1996 in Atlanta, Georgia, I had a circumstance happen. I had a night off from the venues that I was working, and I went to see the finals in the gymnastics. And an American girl won her particular category. And I will never forget what happened that night at the Olympics. The three countries stood on the podium with our United States girl in the middle, and they did the other anthems, and then all of a sudden, they unfurled a huge United States flag from the center, and it went down, and they started playing the national anthem. And I'm not ashamed of it. If anybody wants to poke fun at me, they better do it to my face. I started crying. I've heard the anthem thousands and thousands of times, but under the circumstance of the Olympics and looking at our winner on that podium and that flag coming down and this song rumbling through the halls of that great big Atlanta stadium, I'm telling you, Keith, I'm proud of that song and I'm proud of that flag.
Well, I'll tell you what. In the past, I've been real proud of this United States of America because I'm not quite as old as Tony, but I'm 80, so I've seen what happened in a world war, World War II, where things were rationed and everything like that, and the people pulled together, and they were obedient, and they, like my father went to work in the shipyards and worked long shifts and everything to build a ship so we could have America free. And when somebody wants to do this to our national treasure, I just want to kind of slap them around a little bit.
Well, I'm the same way, and I'll tell you what, I'm against anybody desecrating and knocking down our statues that relate to our history, good, bad, or indifferent. I am absolutely adamant that I will do anything I can to stop this lunacy that's going on in this country, to trash our heritage, trash our history, trash our national anthem, trash anything with values. I'm fed up with this scum, and that's what these people are. They are scum trying to absolutely destroy America.
It's always one person trying to get out front, just like this sorry cowboy-looking representative from Florida.
I would really appreciate it.
You know who she was.
I would really appreciate it if you wouldn't even refer to the cowboy or cowgirl clothing that she refers to, because it hurts me to look at her with a dipstick, phony, crony hat she's got on, and I have absolutely no use for that woman and the trouble that she has caused.
Do you imagine what it'd be like meeting in the United States Congress, and she's sitting there with that stupid cowboy hat on?
There you did it again. I got to run, Keith. I got to get some commercials in. Thanks very much.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Thank you. I tell you, Frederica Wilson, what a charmer she is down there from the Florida Panhandle. Hey, by the way, I want to remind you about Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. Hello, Nick Greenwell. He is the main man there with all of the other physical therapists. Now, they help me. They can help you. They will help you get back to being you. All you need to do is give them a call at 678-1191. Make an appointment at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. All the exercises, all the sports medicine, and you got to try that hydrotherapy pool. I mean, I've walked 1 million miles in that pool, and it helps. Let me tell you. They are the best. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 678-1191. You call for an appointment today, please. Oh, my goodness sakes. Calls are welcome. What about the national anthem? Does this not bother you? It tears me apart. It absolutely is tearing me apart to think that in California, there is a movement now from their chapter of the NAACP to get rid of and demand that our national anthem go down the tubes. And the way they're doing it is... You got to watch out for these people. You really have to watch out for these people. They're playing the races against each other and creating more division, more strife, more animosity, and, yes, more hatred. They're playing the race card by saying, well, the national anthem is really only a white nationalist song. White nationalist song. No. That national anthem is played for everybody. All colors and creeds that fought and died for our country. Stood up for justice in the American way. It is not just a white nationalist song. But they're going to tear it apart. They're going to go after it. Unless we... See, I've only had one call on this morning. Why? Are people not interested in our national anthem? Little by little, the stones start rolling down the hill, and they hit other stones. And then all the time, the stones are gathering in force. And pretty soon, the left wins again, and they smile behind their big fat cheeks and their cigars, and they go, we got you again, America, because we didn't speak up. I am never going to stand for any other song as a national anthem unless it's the one we have now. I am going to absolutely tell you that if this movement gains steam, and I have no idea what kind of an anthem they'd want to put in there, I will never stand for it. I'm telling you that right now. Because it's taking apart a fabric of the blood, sweat, and tears of all of our forefathers, our brothers, our sisters, our uncles, aunts that have died for this country. Come on, your turn. Give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Don't forget Berry Equipment and Rental. And they've got 3 locations serving you. South Lincoln in Jerome, Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls, 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. Bobcats. Woo! Here, there, everywhere. Scoop it up, load it out of there. They've got all the Bobcat excavators, new and used, for sale or rent. All shapes and sizes. And if you don't know how to run one, don't worry about it. Don't lose sleep over it because they can teach you. They got a great big sandbox out behind the store. That's right. The very best of the equipment that you need to get the job done right at Berry Equipment and Rental, sales, service, and parts. Jerome, Twin Falls, and old Juan and the crew at 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. You stop in and see them today. I guess I'm really shocked that the possibility of losing our national anthem doesn't bother a lot of you. It really scares me and it frightens me to think that the left would win again. We can't have that. Oh, and speaking of the left and some of the absolute, I don't know, stupidity, whatever, yesterday was their Scream Day. You can't make this stuff up. At 30 major cities around the United States, the liberals, the Democrats, were acting like 2-year-olds. How? They would stand outside in groups in these cities and scream. Yeah, I'm not making this up. They wanted to show their defiance on Trump's election a year ago. So adults stood out on the street corner and screamed like little 2-year-old brats, which they are. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Again, I just had to say something about this because I don't have any ancestors that fought in the Civil War. Maybe you do.
I do.
I mean, this has been a long time back. But if you remember the people who fought for freedom for the slaves of this country.
That's right.
And and the audience has ancestors that actually fought for their freedom, and what they're doing, they're taking that freedom and throwing it back in our face.
Absolutely.
And NAACP is the worst organization in the world.
Well, it's so phony, and it's so biased, and it's so hateful and spiteful. And when I heard that one black commentator this morning say, listen, stop this foolishness and stop trashing America. I wished I could get his name because I want to invite him on the program. Keith, thanks again. I got another call waiting. God bless you, man. Thanks. Thank you. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. Hey, this is Clarence.
Yes, sir.
Sorry I didn't get the call made sooner, so I'm going to have to make it quick now. I'm picking kids up. But anyway, this deal about the national anthem, our flag, everything is very disgusting, and I'm more than willing to go to war against those that are against it, because as far as I'm concerned, they are traitors to this country, and they're in this country, and I'd be more happy to take up arms and go to war.
Well, I appreciate your call, my friend. I know you're busy, but I appreciate the time and effort it took to call in. God bless you, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. He's right. I feel that strongly about it. I go back again to what I said about the Olympics. And then when Deanna and I were over in Spain back in 2002, and we were doing the World Equestrian Finals, and our anthem was played. Whoa. I mean, man, here you are in a foreign country. And I was announcing a foreign venue, if you will. And we saw France and Germany and Japan and all the countries, Spain represented there. But then when some of our folks won on behalf of the United States, whoa, that is a prideful feeling to sit there and stand when that song starts, take your hat off, put it over your heart. Wow, I never will forget that great, great feeling. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, Zeb. These people who think they are so oppressed, what's wrong with them? They don't know what they want. They say they want freedom. We have given them their freedom. Have you noticed there's just as many black people as reporters? There's more actors. There's more black people in this country than there is white people anymore. And they're oppressed.
Well, regardless...
Freedom is. We fought to give them their freedom. And like Keith said, all they do is slap us in the face.
We've got to be really careful here, though, and I know you will be. We've got to be really careful that we don't lump all of their ilk into the same they, because that's not true. It's only the radicals that want to cause the problem. It's only those that want to, on behalf of the NAACP, see a shattering of America like a glass that breaks. They want to see it all trashed. And I'm not going to lump them all together.
If it wasn't for the fact that we gave them their freedom, we fought for them, and the biggest share of the hate is in their own minds, and they make it bad for the good people.
That's right. That's right. I agree with you. But, you know, I am sitting here, and I know how you stand about the national anthem, but you know, anything that comes out of the state of California in the last decade to 15 to 20 years, you know that it grows like a cancer. You know that others are going to pick up on this crashing of our national anthem. You know that others are going to pick up on this white nationalism attitude, and I'm so afraid that we are just seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Well, it's just not right. And those so-called oppressed Negroes are causing most of the problems themselves. And the ones that are complaining are the ones that won't get off their butts and go get them a job. They expect everything to be handed to them by the government, and they're causing their own problems.
I agree with you, and God bless you for calling, and I mean that. Thank you very, very much. You know, it's so easy for any other group of people. Think about this. I know that some of the liberals in this area, especially the ones that live in Twin Falls, they're probably just sitting on the floor right now, tearing their hair out, gnashing their teeth. Oh, that's that Bill. We hate him, we hate him, we hate him. That's good. But there are some people that want nothing more in their lives than to see a complete disruption, a complete distortion, a complete fragmentation of the greatest country ever on the face of the earth. And that lady hit on something just a moment ago. We have all the freedoms in this country afforded to all people. But for the ones that are lazy, slovenly, and absolutely not responsible for their own lives, they stand there with a tin cup and waiting for the handouts. And they are also the first groupings of people that want things fragmented and more given to them. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. And, you know, there are going to be those that are going to say, they're going to wring their hands and they're going to go, did you hear that, Zeb Bell, this morning? He used the word Negro. Yes, I did, in the proper connotation and the proper meaning. Why should I sit there and not say that when they, on behalf of the NAACP, are calling us that hold the Pledge of Allegiance and our national anthem in high regard, that white nationalist? Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Don't forget Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox with their home comfort systems. Oh, yeah, you can just kind of sit back, put your arms behind your head and go, yeah, buddy, am I glad I did this. Absolutely. An installation of a Lennox home comfort system thanks to Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. Call and find out more, 678-0459. Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox. Your turn. Give me a call. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Getting back to that scream out where the liberals thought that would be a great way to condemn and, I guess, minimize the presidency of Donald Trump. They showed some of the film clips this morning, and here are adults, and I use that word loosely, standing on street corners going, what kind of dolts are these people? You know, instead of standing there and making a complete jackass out of yourself, why don't you get involved in politics if you don't like the way things are going? Why don't you get involved in your city, your community, your county, your state, whatever, and try to make things with a plurality of vote the way you like it? But to stand there on a street corner and literally thousands of these people with the brain that God gave a bicycle spoke, screaming? Oh, yeah. My grandmother used to always say, ay, 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 ay. I agree with my grandmother. It's time for the weather, brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. And, of course, the great doctor of audiology. She understands sound. She understands hearing. She can help you if you've had a loss of hearing. She helped me. All you need to do is make an appointment. Call the number 312-0957. That number again, 312-0957. Right across from the Minidoka Hospital Emergency Room, Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. Absolutely. Right now, here's the weather.
Going to be a little bit on the wet side for the next couple of days. Here is your Thursday weather forecast for Zev at the Ranch. 20% chance of rain showers is what we're expecting for today, looking at a high of 53. A little bit on the breezy side for today as well. Tonight we do have a slight chance of rain showers with a low of 35. For tomorrow, more rain showers are in the forecast, about a 40% chance, high of 52 with an overnight low of 34. For Veterans Day Saturday, we are expecting some rain showers in the morning. Those are going to give way to mostly sunny by Saturday afternoon, high of 49. Clear skies for Saturday evening with a low of 30. For Sunday, mostly sunny skies, high of 51, and clear skies for Sunday night with a low of 32. That is your weather for Zev at the Ranch.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Gina. Great job. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids brings you the weather. And don't forget, call Dr. Christine Pickup today at 312-0957. Set up an appointment. She knows hearing. She knows sound, and she can help you. 312-0957. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to start a GoFundMe page for these liberals doing all their screaming so we can get them a pacifier and a comfy blanket so they can feel better.
You're more generous than I am.
Well, that's what they act like.
Did you see some of those people?
I seen a few clips. I was sitting there just shaking my head. I'm thinking, okay, it's fine to protest something if you want to do something to fix it, but to scream,
yeah,
because you're not happy with the way the election went.
It was a 2-year-old temper tantrum.
Exactly. That's why I want to get him a pacifier and a comfy blanket.
And when I've had people say, well, you're always criticizing the Democrats, and you're always criticizing the liberals, and you're always yelling about the millennials. Doug, how can you not when these 8-balls are sitting there on a street corner going, I mean, that's stupidity.
Who was it? Was it Abraham Lincoln said it's better to be thought of as a fool than open your mouth and remove all doubt?
Well, I'll tell you what, Abraham, come back, sir, and look at the mess we have today. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, some of these adults that I saw in the clips were like 40, 50, 60 years old, and they're standing out on the street corner screaming.
Yep, they're the flower children, the product of the flower children of the 70s.
Well, I wish that crop of flowers would have never grown, to be honest with you. Oh,
Roundup back then, huh?
I absolutely am. So I get on this program in the morning and I look at some of the news stories that I'm going to highlight, whether we're talking about the NAACP and the trying to take apart our national anthem, or whether we're talking about the Democrats standing in the middle of the street screaming. And here's another one for you to weigh in on while you're on the air with me. Now the liberal left is coming out, and this shows you how anti-Christian and anti-God they are. They are saying that when we say something like our thoughts and prayers are with so-and-so or so group because of maybe a death or maybe a tragedy, they're saying that that is phony, it's just lip service, and they're mocking Christians. And this morning in the paper, Doug, this morning in the paper, one of the worst, I think, biggest lefties that ever was a cartoonist by the name of Mike Lukovic back in Chicago shows an AR-15 with the rounds being held by a container that says thoughts and prayers. This is asinine.
It is. It really is. And they want to take down Christianity because if they can take it down, then there's no hope. But first off, they've got to take it out of the hearts of the Christians.
Absolutely.
Before they can take it down.
When a group of people like the left is doing, they minimize and they mock Christianity, and then pretty soon people are afraid, well, gee, if I go to church on Sunday, is somebody going to be watching me, and is somebody going to criticize me? Or they're afraid to speak on the radio. Somebody might recognize my voice. The left is winning, and I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't care if they know who I am. I don't care if they know my voice. I'm going to tell them I think they are absolutely a cancer that needs to be cut out of America.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And do you remember the book called The Naked Communist?
Yes.
Okay. And you read their instructions on how to take down America, and then you look in the news and what's going on today. Ought to wake a lot of people up.
I hope so, Doug. Listen, I tell you, every morning when I get ready for this program, it just almost makes me sit back in the chair. How in the world can they go lower on the depth chart than they have before? But they do it. The left is always looking for a new low.
Exactly, and what they tell you, they will do the opposite. Like Michelle Obama said, well, when they go low, we go high.
Yeah.
No. Affordable Care Act costs you bunches.
Yeah.
Everything they say, you can just almost guarantee it'll be opposite of what they're telling you.
Well, fight for the national anthem. Doug, I got another call waiting. Thank you, my friend.
Okay, and everybody, let's take care of our senior centers this year, okay?
Amen.
Donate
Thank you.
to them, rent their facilities for your parties, and God bless.
All right, thanks, Doug. Caller, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Go ahead, please.
Tell Doug he's taking care of the top end. He needs to get enough diapers for those people for the other end.
Listen, all seriousness, Bob, honestly, what did you think of the so-called adults having an organized scream in over 30 states or cities in this country?
Well, it's just their mentality, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all they've got. Not very much.
I'm afraid your verbiage is 100% right. That's all they've got. Thank you, Bob, as always.
And as far as the national anthem goes, I know you listened to it for a long time. And after 30 years of refereeing, I listened to it a long time, and the thing is still just as sacred and meaningful to me today as it was back then.
Absolutely well stated, and I will fight. I mean that word, underline it. I will fight anyone with the changes that they want to take to destroy another fabric of America.
Well, we need to go live in another country and see what they get done there.
Yeah, I kind of wish they'd check that out. Bob, thank you so much.
Talk to you later.
You bet. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I got to tell you, of all the rodeos and all the events that I've announced, thousands and I figured up, I'm in the process of hopefully going to finish that book I've been talking about for the last 2 years. Hopefully going to get it done this winter. I figured it up, and I've announced over 9,350 performances here in the United States. And that's 9,000 times hearing the anthem, and then, of course, at other venues around Canada where you hear our anthem played also, and then over in foreign countries, and probably well over 10,000. And I still get that tingling of pride like I did that night at the Olympics in Atlanta, Georgia. No, no, you are not going to change or throw away our national anthem. No. Calls are welcome. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. You know, Monday, and this coincides with what we're doing Monday, thanks to my dear, dear friend George Mass. For about an hour and a half on Monday next week, we are going to celebrate Veterans Day on the 13th. I know that Veterans Day is on Saturday the 11th. I'm not on the air on that day. And we're going to, Wheels over at the station is putting together a lot of really good red, white, and blue feeling music to go into the news and everything. It's going to be a tribute to our veterans. And I dare say that you'll not find a veteran that has put on the uniform of the United States of America that's going to sit there and trash that national anthem or want to see our red, white, and blue flag diminished. These people that want to cause these problems, the NAACP in California, it'd be really interesting to have them, if they had the backbone, go to our military or to other organizations and make their demands. I wonder how quick the door will open and they will be escorted out. Don't forget your dear friends and my dear friends, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations. They say, get ready for winter driving. It's here, the snow, the slush, everything else, the ice. I hate ice. And they've got all the tires for your cars and your pickups and your SUVs. Like for your cars, they have got an outstanding tire called the Observe GSI 5, and it's outstanding in ice and snow. You got to check that one out. And for your pickups and SUVs, the Wintercat SST. Just a couple of examples. They've got all your tire chains, and of course they've got the best in brake service, front end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries. Oh yeah, all of this and more with all 7 locations. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland in Burley. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, where doing the right thing matters. and they do the right things. Your Magic Valley, Les Schwab Tire Centers. Got time for one more call. Give me a jingle, 436-2244. These three UCLA basketball players, I want to comment on this quickly. Stupid. That is about the only word that can be used for these three UCLA basketball players that were arrested in China on suspicion of shoplifting. My goodness sakes, when you go to a foreign country, especially over there in that area of the world, why in the world at 20, 21, 22 years of age want to be that absolutely dumb? And one of them is the younger brother of the NBA rookie Lonzo Ball of the Los Angeles Lakers. His name is LiAngelo Ball. And the problem right there is the dad himself. That's right. The dad made a quote and he said, he'll be fine, he'll be fine. Everyone's making a big deal out of it. It ain't that big a deal. Well, it is, my friend, and it's probably going to revert back to poor parenting on your part. Good heavens, how dumb can you be to shoplift in China? My goodness. Going to take a break for the news. Wheel us into the news. I'll be back in 7. Oh, my. Here we go. Hour number 2 on a Thursday. Zeb at the Ranch, and of course brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley, Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you. Get ready for wintertime driving. Oh, I tell you, it's going to be bad out there. Snow, ice, you be ready for it, okay? And don't forget, too, some of our great advertisers like Western Way Services.
From the canyons of the Snake River and all across southern Idaho, we're always at your disposal. Western Way Services, we care about our community, our resources, and this free land. Western Way Services is lending a hand, always at your disposal. Western Way Services.
Hey, a little bit later on this morning, we're going to be talking to Joe over at Western Way Services. Oh, my goodness, yes, they are always at your disposal. Don't forget, if you're going to clean out the basement, the garage, or like my office, get a dumpster. They've got dumpsters in various sizes. Load them up, and they'll come get them. I'll tell you what, that's the way to do it. Always at your disposal. Western Way Services, 734-6969. By the way, it is almost that time of the year, but you need to be considering about how you're going to get your Christmas tree lights up. Maybe it's a little tougher to get up on the ladder, a little shaky. Look out, don't fall. Well, we know somebody that'll help you with that, and that's Forever Green Lawn and Tree Service at 423-6454. I'll repeat that number, 423-6454. And believe me, call for a free quote, schedule an appointment, they'll come out, they can help, they will help you with your Christmas tree lights. Forever Green Lawn and Tree Service, 423-6454. And we're going to go over to the Chamber of Commerce in just a few moments for that report. But before we do, I want to remind you again about Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox Home Comfort Systems. Oh, yeah, buddy, I'm telling you what. It can be blowing outside. The snow can be piling up in your comfy inside with the Lennox Home Comfort Systems through Ramsey Heating and Electric, 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. Call them today. You might get up to a $1,600 rebate on a Lennox Home Comfort System. Find out more. Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox, saving you money. In just a moment, Kyla's going to be on the phone, I think, and we're going to talk to the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce. But I also want to say thank you to one of the nicest people anywhere, anytime, and that's Joel Heward. And he's the manager, of course, along with his family and staff at Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert. You know, I've said this before, and I'm sure you've probably been through it with your family. I know I've been through it in my family. When there's the passing of a loved one, it's absolutely one of the most tumultuous times trying to get everything done. Please, they can and they will help you from Hanson Mortuary. Number to call, 436-5636. Always serving you with the highest ethical standards with unquestioned integrity. Hanson Mortuary in Rupert, 436-5636. Right now, let's see if we have a surprise. I believe that we have Kyla from the Chamber of Commerce. Are you there?
Hi, good morning, Zeb. How are you this morning?
Well, I've learned my lesson that I sometimes am a little gun-shy. I'll say, here's Kyla, and it's not you.
Fair enough. No, we are busy over here, so I'm really excited that it's my turn. I get to talk to you. So thank you for having us on your show. We have got a ton of stuff to talk about because, of course, believe it or not, we are headed into the holiday season, and so we want to thank everyone for bringing in their posters, bringing in their information, jumping online, calling us here at the Chamber office. We're more than happy to get this on our events calendar, and there is a lot going on. So today at noon, we are going to have John Zielinski, who is the site manager for Dow. Dow, of course, is the new Fortune 50 company that has put a plant in here in Burley, and he will be speaking at our chamber luncheon today at noon at Maury's Steakhouse. If you are a member or not a member, you're more than welcome to attend. It will be $15 for non-members and folks that are not on the Cultivator above if you want to have lunch. So we're more than excited to hear what Dow has planned for Burley. This is going to be exciting, and we're just real pleased to have John coming to speak to us. Let's see, we have a ton of stuff also today on, tonight at 7:30 at the King Fine Arts Center, it's the Magic Philharmonic Fall Concert. And they're just going to have some wonderful guest conductors. Melissa Daly, Megan Richards is the guest cellist. And the tickets are available all over town at the different bookstores as well as at the music store, or you can get them at the door. So again, if you'd like to attend that, that's tonight at 7:30 p.m. at the King Fine Arts Center. And then this, I know you know about this, Zeb, because this is right up your alley, but we have the Western Music Festival happening at the Historic Wilson Theater this weekend, November 10th through the 12th. Cowboy Poets, Western Music, they're going to have Cowboy Church on Sunday. There's a craft fair. We have had a ton of calls about this. Tickets are available at the door. The number to call for more information is 436-2787. That one is going to be just a ton of fun. I can't wait for it. I'm going to catch my breath. Did I miss anything?
No, you're...
Some other stuff if you want me to go ahead and
You're
talk.
doing wonderfully, and my goodness, it is that time of the year. And, you know, kind of...
I'm going to talk about a couple things real quick, if it's all right with you.
Sure, go ahead.
Because they're coming around the pipe next week. So
okay.
The Kaja Festival of Trees, that gala is happening on Wednesday. So that's, next Wednesday on the 15th. And so we really want folks to come out to that. If you would like tickets, it's $15 per ticket, and you need to call 208-300-0671. And you can call us here at the office. We'd be happy to hook you up with that information. We also have the lighted Christmas parade that is coming, of course, the first week in December. And we have at our office here at the Chamber Visitor Center, stop on in if you need the entry form for your parade entry, because that's going to be a lot of fun. Santa comes, and it's just going to be a really, really good time. And it's so much fun every year to see how everybody gets the lights on the vehicles and really makes this a spectacular event for the community. So if you'd like to enter, we have those forms here at the Visitor Center. Just stop on in and pick one up and get yourself entered in that.
Oh, my goodness.
And then, of course, the Historic Wilson Theater is having the Polar Express Experience, and that's coming up at the end of the month, but the tickets are going very fast, and so that's November 30th, 1st, and 2nd. You will want to call the Historic Theater to make sure and get those tickets. Again, the number is 208-436-2787. So, whew, that's as far as I'm going to go for right now.
Holy moly, and all kinds of things are coming up, and really over the next 2 months, I mean, the activities and all the fun things for families to get together and shopping right here in your own area. I mean, a lot of things going into the holiday season.
Yes, and I want to remind folks, too, the Chamber has its Chamber Cash program, which means if you want to buy someone a really cool gift certificate that's good at a lot of stores here in our area, and grocery stores as well, I might add, you can pick up Chamber Cash. We sell it in 5, 10, and $20 amounts, and then we give you a list of all the stores here that are in both Minidoka and Cassia County that you can use it. And, we are just excited to have that. It's a great way to keep the money local right here in our community. And, I can't even believe it. Christmas is not that far away. Our community Christmas party is December 7th. That's a Thursday. Here at the Visitor Center, we'll have Santa Claus, entertainment, food, 4 to 6 p.m., and that is less than a month away, Zeb.
Oh, I know it. Well, I want to extend to you a happy Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas. See, I'm the first one that's done it for you this morning on the radio.
You just made my day.
There you go.
A happy Veterans Day. I don't know if that's what you should do, but I do want to say something about that because a lot of us are going to have Friday off. A lot of the banks will be closed, etc. But there's a reason behind that one, and I hope that everyone can take some time to thank a veteran this holiday, this weekend.
And I'm so glad you brought that up because I'm not on the air on Fridays. So Monday, we are giving a special 90-minute program in my program for the veterans on Monday.
Oh, Zeb, you do such a great job. I cannot wait to hear that. That is going to be great because we really owe our veterans just such a wonderful thank you for the service, for the sacrifice, their families that have sacrificed, and that's going to be a special program, I'm sure.
Yeah, and we're going to have a lot of vets right here in our studio, and thanks to George Mass for helping line it all up. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be our special Veterans Day salute, starting at 9:30 all the way to 11 on Monday, and we're going to cancel out all the other segments and put them as the main focal point.
That will be a very special show indeed. Thanks, Zeb, for doing that. That's going to be great. And thanks to George. George is the man, I tell you.
He is the man. But no, easy. Don't say too much because, George, he has to go buy a new baseball cap every time somebody brags on him because his head swells up.
You know what? I gotta give kudos to George, though. Someone vandalized our flag here at the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, no.
About 6 months ago, and George was really helpful in not only helping us purchase a better flag, but also in setting up our system a little better, so hopefully people won't vandalize it again.
Why? Why would... I just sit here and I just wonder, how can people be that devoid of any common sense?
From what we can tell, because of what was done in the damage, it looked like they used the pulley system to maybe try to climb up the flagpole. I don't really know.
Climb up the flagpole?
Yeah. I don't have a camera. I hate to even say that on the air, but if anybody has pictures of that, I'd love to know who did it. But we have it fixed now. And, our flag is at half-mast like everyone else's are to just remember what happened this past weekend in Texas. So,
yes.
It is what it is, but I'm just thankful to George for helping us, and now we're hopeful that that won't happen again.
I wonder if there might not have been a little bit of alcohol involved in some nitwit trying to climb up a flagpole.
I don't know. I really don't know.
All right, hey.
It's nothing surprises me these days, or it could be something else. You never know.
You're right. You're right.
Have a wonderful program on Monday, and have a great weekend.
Thank you, Kyla. And quickly, before you go, tell everybody how they can contact the Chamber of Commerce.
Sure. Give us a call, 208-679-4793. Or you can hop online to our events calendar at minicassiachamber.com.
Thank you much. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you.
You too. Thank you, Zeb.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Take care. Thank you. Nice lady, Kyla, over at the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce, and I always look forward to having them on the air. By the way, I want to talk to you a little bit about Ark Animal Hospital. Yes, Ruby says hello. Ark Animal Hospital, 750 21st Street near Connection Credit Union in Heyburn. Number to call, 678-1177. Do you know about them? Do you know that they're not just little kitty cat doctors? No! They serve all animals, mixed animal practice, big or small, they love them all. By the way, they got the biggest cats over there I've ever seen. Ark Animal Hospital is 750 21st Street, as I said, in Heyburn. They have the warm hearts for the cold noses. Taking care of your animals, Dr. Bill and the crew at Ark Animal Hospital, 678-1177. Really good folks. Let's see what else have I got here to tell you about. I want to also mention, of course, our dear friends Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Holy moly! Life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits, so much more for you, your family, and your business, protecting you. That's right. They are dedicated and responsive to your needs, and they want to help you. Please give them a call for an appointment. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Again, that number, 43622. Oop, back up, Zeb. Wrong number. I'm giving mine. 436-4424. There you go. I'll say it again. 436-4424. Cameron and Siemens Insurance. Got a little ahead of myself there. Hey, by the way, too, over in that area, let's ride 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. Oh, boy. They've got all the 2018 snow machines. They've got all the 4x4s. They got all the great big side-by-sides. They've got all the accessories. They are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays, 9 to 4. You'd better get over there. And what a service department to keep you running. The best. Let's ride, as I said, over on Highway 24 in Rupert, where the fun is sold. Let's take a quick look at some of the high school playoff games that are going on this weekend. And if there's a mistake in anything I say, please call me and correct me. I don't want to put out the wrong information, okay? Carey is going to take on Deary, and that's going to be on Saturday, and they're going to start up in the Holt Arena at 2 p.m., okay? Now we move over to the game of Declo between Westside, and that's going to be in the Holt Arena, I believe. Is that right, Deanne? Up in the Holt Arena at 8 p.m. on Friday night, tomorrow night. Declo versus Westside. And let's move over to Oakley. Boy, they got a great football team this year. Oakley is going to be playing Prairie at the Kibbe Dome on tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. So, Oakley Hornets, good luck to you. And now we move over to Gooding taking on Snake River. That's going to be Saturday at 2:45 at the Holt Arena. And one more game. Congratulations, Minico Spartans are in the playoffs, and they are going to be playing Skyview at Minico tomorrow at 7 p.m. So go get them, Magic Valley High School football teams. Good luck to you. Let's see, what else have I got to tell you about here real quick. And we're going to have our dear friend Jeff Bronson with us in a couple of minutes. But I also want to remind you, while I have the time, about Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center. You know, doggone, let's just face it, that when people get older, sometimes they need a little bit more one-on-one care to make it through the day. Well, they personalize help for each person that lives there at Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center at 924 Christian Way in Rupert. Now, here's the number. I'll give you that up front so you can call and find out more information, or better yet, just stop by and take a tour. Really good people that want you to know that they really help their seniors with, like I said, that one-on-one care. They're the only assisted living facility located in Rupert, and Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center, easy to get a hold of, easy to stop by. 924 Christian Way in Rupert, number 436-3200. They're small compared to some, but with a bigger heart than most. Nice people. Okay, let's see what else have I got here on the docket. At 9:30 this morning, we're going to be visiting with Rita Ramsey, and boy, have we got a list of political stories to talk to her about. And I think right now we'll check over with Wheels. Wheels, do we have Jeff Bronson ready to go?
Yes, sir, we do.
Well, you are just a wizard, young man. Thank you very much. Right now, Jeff is back. Yes, sirree, buddy. He is over there at Lee's Furniture, Floors and More, 459 Overland and Burley, and there's something very special going on today and tonight at Lee's Furniture, Floors and More. We've been telling you about it. It's a great big customer appreciation sale. Jeff, tell us about it.
Thank
Thank you, Zeb. I appreciate you letting me join you on the radio this morning. But, when you were talking about football, I find that quite entertaining. I have a confession. I went to school at Declan, so I love to see the Hornets do well, but I wish the other local teams, to do well also. So
absolutely.
Good luck to them. But anyway, on that note, yes, we have tonight our customer appreciation sale, and so we are closed today so that we can get ready for that sale, and our hours are from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. tonight, and so we're closed so that we can get everything priced in the store. Zeb, something that you might find interesting as well is we've gone out to our warehouse. We've taken everything out there, any overstock, any discontinued items, any closeout items, in conjunction with everything on the floor, our recliners, our sofa love sets, our dining room sets, mattresses, bedroom sets, everything. And so, and everything is between 40 to 50% off.
Wow.
And just so that everybody knows, I am going through especially before we open tonight, and I'm going to put some amazing discounts on some particular items in the store. And so I'd love to extend that invitation to everybody in the community to show our appreciation. It's a great opportunity to come in and get some great savings.
Wow, you better go get a can of 3-in-1 oil and oil the hinges on that door, because it's going to get overworked tonight.
Well, we certainly hope so. We've got a great staff, Zeb, and we appreciate them as well. And so this is a wonderful opportunity for anybody who is considering making a purchase in time for the holidays. Perhaps you have company coming in for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. We still do, in fact, have some time to order some items to arrive before the Christmas holidays. So we extend that invitation to any who are considering that as well.
Let me ask you about some of these things, like, of course, the bedroom sets, the living room furniture. You've got all the lamps. I mean, wow. When you talk about an inventory, you've got it all over there, at least furniture, floors, and more.
Yeah, we have, in fact, for example, we have a number of entertainment units. We've left them in the box. We're just going to blow those out. A customer wants to come in and grab those, take them home with you today. That's great. We have closeout bunk beds, $168, Zeb. Take them in the box, take them with you today. Closeout three-piece occasional groups, $125, $99 for some of them. Mattresses, sofa love sets. We have some of our closeout sofas and love seats, $192 for some love seats. We've got a couple of sofas around $225. I mean, these are significant savings, Zeb.
And let's not overlook the fact that we're going into the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays, and a lot of people want to spruce up the inside with some new carpeting.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. In fact, right now, in conjunction with this sale, we've just received a number of new shipments of floor covering. We have carpet in stock. We have a number of styles of the luxury vinyl planks that are so popular right now. Many of these items you can purchase yourself. If you wish to have those professionally installed, we have the best installers available. Right now, the schedule is filling up quickly, but there are still some openings available for one to want to have those installed for the holidays. So I would certainly extend that invitation again to come in quickly to take advantage of those savings and to have time to get those installed.
I want to brag on your staff a little bit, because you've got some wonderful people over there, and I don't want to build one up over the other, but I'll tell you one thing, the efficiency and the follow-up with your people is absolutely very respectful. I appreciate that.
And thank you for acknowledging that, Zeb. We appreciate that. And, we have Darren and LeGrand, Hillary, Morgan, Emily, and myself. And then we have Corby and Juan helping us in our warehouse and our deliveries, and they're just equally as important. And so we'd love to invite people to come in and get acquainted with them and give us an opportunity to serve you and to show you what type of product and service we do offer here.
All right, that is tonight. Tonight, starting at 5 p.m., one night only customer appreciation sale from 5 to 9. Wow, Jeff, stand out of the way. The door's going to swing open.
That's right. So come on in, come see us, and we'd love to see everyone there.
All right. Jeff Brunson, thank you so much. And by the way, kudos to you as the dad of a son that played great football with my grandson, and they'll have a great year next year again.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it, Zeb.
Okay, buddy. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Lee's Furniture, Floors, and more. Tonight, the great big customer appreciation sale. Don't miss this. 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. tonight. Wow, what a deal at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and more. Whoa, busy day. I'm telling you, we're in the swing of things, and got a big weekend planned too, so enjoy. Just enjoy this time of the year. I know it's getting a little colder, and it's going to kind of stifle a little bit of being outside with various projects, but it's that time of the year. Let's just really enjoy it as we get closer and closer to Thanksgiving, and boy, we got a lot to be thankful for. And then, of course, peek around the corner, and Christmas time not that far away. Right now, let's take a look over to Wheels. He's so efficient over there. Let's see if we have the lovely Rita ready to go. Wheels, what's the good word?
Yes, sir, we do got Rita to go to.
Okay, thank you. Rita Ramsey, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm real good, thank you.
Rita, where do we start? I mean, my goodness, every week it piles up even worse. I mean, it's like cleaning out a barn when you start talking about the liberals and the Democrats and all the garbage going on. Holy cow.
I tell you, it's just getting more muddled and muddled every time you turn around. It's you just don't expect that you'd be hearing that the Republicans are doing Democrat stuff and that the Democrats are just off the rails, so...
Well, I'm telling you what's going to happen this next week. We're going to, this last Tuesday, this week, Mike Crapo was in a meeting, and his liaison contacted my wife while I was on the air and apologized profusely that he couldn't get out of that meeting. But I'll tell you what, this next Tuesday, I am really going to lower the hammer on questions regarding what in the world is going on or not going on with the Republican Party. I am sick and tired of the lip service. I don't care if it's Mike Crapo. I don't care if it's Jim Risch. I certainly don't care if it's Mike Simpson or any member of the Republican Party. I'm going to take off my boot and slam it on the table and say, get something done, boys. This is ridiculous.
Well, the part that makes me mad about it is there's a number of those, and I don't know where Crapo and Risch stand because I haven't seen one thing to indicate against or for, but there's so many that aren't in Trump's corner. And because of it, they're just, dragging their feet and saying, well, we're just going to kind of not do anything and da-da-da-da-da. And what they're really doing is they're hurting America because a lot of the things need to be taken care of. This lousy House bill that they've sent, and I blame Trump for this to start with because he should have looked at it and said, there's a few things that are kind of bad in here. Instead, it's like, well, let's get this going forward and see what happens. That tax bill that they're putting forth is not any kind of a tax cut or anything else. It's just slushing things around. And the very biggest problem that the government has is they won't quit spending money or cut. They just absolutely won't. And nothing's going to work until they'll agree to start making cuts.
I agree with you, and I am to the point where I am going to, and I use this word very carefully, but I think you'll understand and appreciate why. I damn them for their lack of ability to get things done when they control the House, the Senate, and the Oval Office. I condemn them for not having a plan or a strategy in place and ready to go so they could hit the ground running. And now it looks like Ted Mack in the amateur hour.
Well, it really does. And if they're so stupid and don't know what to do and don't know what to draft, pull out the Reagan tax thing and use it word for word.
There you go. There you go. I agree.
Worked. They cut spending. They gave the incentive to business and to individuals, but they quit spending so much money. There were spending cuts, and that's how they took care of it. Right now they're going, well, we can't really do anything unless we find out where we're going to get the money to pay for this tax cut. Oh, bullcrap. Quit spending so much money. Start making some cuts.
The timidity and the outright cowardice, I think you'll agree with me, is absolutely blatant in the Republican Party. It seems like all of them kind of tiptoe up to the pool, and they take their toe and they put it in the water. Oh, it's too cold. Why, we can't do that. Do you get that feeling when you're talking about the Republicans not doing anything?
Oh, absolutely. And then the part that makes me mad about all of it is we all know, we're not stupid, we know they're just stuffing money into their pockets from special interest groups and lobbyists and those types of things and saying, well, okay, I'll just kind of pretend like I'm going through the motions, but I won't really do anything because unless you give me the money or stuff money in my pocket, I'm not going to make any kind of a statement one way or the other. I'm just going to stay lukewarm right here.
What are they afraid of? Really, I'm not trying to be facetious, but what are they afraid of? A, They've got 3 years left of the Trump administration in office, maybe even 7 years if he gets reelected. But what are they afraid of? Are they afraid of scrutiny and condemnation from the Democrats? What are the Republicans so doggone timid of?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with some scrutiny, but I also think that there's some big money behind some of the things, and it's kind of like, well, if I do something or say something, they've either got them blackmailed or they're going to cut off their money chain, and they don't want to do that. So it's kind of like, well, yeah, we'll just go. Well, I showed up, and I mean, I get a letter. I'm sure you do too from Crapo, saying this and that and the other is what took place and what we voted on, and this is good. And they'll mention a bunch of insignificant things that they didn't make any changes. They basically probably voted, okay, yeah, we'll just continue on with that. Nobody's made any big to-dos about it, so we'll go ahead and continue or whatever. They're not doing anything, though. They're not really doing anything that we can see that makes a difference. So why don't they just come home and let somebody else go take their place?
Term limits.
That's right, and the only way we're going to get term limits is if we have an Article 5 and the states actually vote and say, you know what, you're done here. We're not going to give you any more than 10 years or 12 or whatever they decide, and I don't need to have anybody call in here and say, oh, we can't have a con, we're going to lose the Constitution. I'm just getting sick and tired of these people. They don't have any answers, but the only answer is that the states get together, 38 would have to vote on it, and they would have term limits. That's how we solve things.
I tell you what, if I were Glenn, I'd kind of be wary of you, the mood you're in today. I tell you what.
I'll tell you something. Anybody ought to be wary of the mood that I'm in today, because I am so fed up with bureaucrats and people saying, yeah, we want to make a difference, but we don't have any answers.
I love it.
Whoever has answers, no, that's not the answer, but we don't have any answers.
Amen. Now, let's shift gears a little bit and go to the other side. Can you believe, and I know you follow the news like I do, that 2 states, especially New Jersey and Virginia, which are blue states, Democratic-controlled states, have been for a long time, and the Democrats are going, wow, we've got a snowball effect. Why, we've got now Democratic governors reelected in those states. We're ready to rock and roll for 2018 and 2020. And above all this, Hillary actually was taking some of the credit for these election wins. Why doesn't this woman just go home?
I don't know. Those people who think that they had major victories, I think, are somewhat delusional. However, we need to keep a close eye on it and make sure that this doesn't continue rolling and becoming a bigger snowball. And the answer is for government to go in, those who were in charge, who last I checked it was the Republicans, make some changes that are friendly to the taxpayer, to the citizen, and not just in favor of the those who were on the dole. I don't know whether you noticed it or not, but I just noticed a article this morning on Breitbart, and it was talking about Trump's nominee for Homeland Security. Mm-hmm. She is a big DACA amnesty person. What in the heck are we thinking having somebody like her?
It drives me nuts. Yes. Here's one other story I want to talk about. I've got about half a dozen left to go. What did you think about that story about the California chapter of the NAACP coming out and saying, what? You can't have the national anthem played anymore at any events. Why, that's racist. We've got to stop it. Why, my goodness sakes, that's divisive. What did you think of that?
I think everybody needs to contact their senators and their congressmen, and especially the California people, and start putting up a big stink about it. Because if you don't, they'll have their way, and they'll make the changes, and we'll all be sitting back saying, holy cow, what happened? It used to be that we had patriotic people in America, and now all those people who lost their lives and who fought and went into the service to defend our freedoms and that type of thing, did they mean nothing?
Yeah, and here's something else. I said it first hour, and I stand behind this. I have probably heard the national anthem more than most other people because of the business I've been in for the last 47 years. How dare the left, how dare certain segments like the NAACP condemn our national anthem as racist? That makes me fighting mad, and I'll guarantee you, Rita, I will never conform to the change. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do some things on this program next week, and I think all of us need to be very vocal before the left and these idiots get any more traction in the sand to remove that song.
Well, it is, and the part that's really sad about it is that if these people who are shouting, this is racist, this isn't fair, they don't even know the words to the national anthem. They don't even know the context in which it was written. They don't know any of the history behind it. If they did, they wouldn't be shouting like they are. They'd be saying, you know what? There's nothing more suitable, there's nothing more appropriate than the national anthem with the words that are written and in honoring our country and the preservation of our flag and our freedom.
Absolutely. Okay, this one I just absolutely couldn't believe that grown-ups, adults, would act like they need diapers on and a pacifier. In 30 cities across the United States, they had a shout-out, scream-out against Donald Trump being the president. What did you think of these nincompoops standing on street corners going, ah, ah? I mean, I never saw anything so dumb in my life.
It's really pathetic. You know, there's lots of good causes around the country, and a lot of them it's like, well, let's walk 10 miles for this, and let's do that, and this and that and the other. And lots of times those things are good to bring awareness. But, you know, if the people that invested their time into those causes, as well as that stupid scream thing, if they would take that time and do it in doing good to their fellow men or volunteering at a soup kitchen or a place that was helping the needy or doing service projects for people who are older and need a little bit of help from their neighbors. If they do that kind of thing, just think how many good things could happen in this country.
Oh, I totally agree with you. It just seems like the left is a bunch of crybaby wannabes led by the likes of Hillary trying to disrupt everything and change everything. And then here's a story that it just sickens me. It really does. The transgendered part of our society, they're absolutely standing up and going, hooray, hooray. We have placed, I think, a half a dozen or so transgenders in major offices. How perverted and sick is our society getting?
It's just sad. And the part of it is that the news media is in control of that, because if they would basically just put it on the back page and no big deal, pretty soon it wouldn't be something that's we've got to pay attention to this, we need to do this. The other thing is the more that happens, the more we're in jeopardy of losing our kids and everything else. Imagine, and I didn't hear you mention it this morning, but maybe you mentioned it earlier, there was an article that the Delaware gender policy they're trying to get it changed so that in schools, kids can change their identity without parental permission.
Now, right there, stop, because without parental permission, how devastating to a mother and a father to come home after a day's work and find out this is in progress. I mean, our society has taken the parents out of the equation, good or bad, and now have turned over everything to the rule of the children and society themselves. And I think it's about high time to put the brakes on. And parents, you'd better start being responsible before it's too late.
Well, that's right. The big issue about this is that just a sentence out of this article, it says the policy explicitly provides that educators, should consider not consulting or notifying parents of children who wish to change their gender identity. If those parents are not supportive enough of the gender identity change. So what they're saying is that their teachers or their administrators or the hippies from the 60s who are now in charge of all the schools can make the decisions and parents can't. That's pretty sad. But let me just tell you, this comes from Common Core. Because Common Core, one of its very, very biggest goals was to make sure that parents were not part of the learning curve and abilities of the children. Let's get the parents so they're not influencing the kids so that we can indoctrinate them the way that we want. That's what Common Core, one of their very biggest goals was, is to make sure that the parents are not part of the kids' learning experiences.
Well, and really the giving up of power of the parents and parents' responsible rights, basically they caused it themselves. I know that I've talked to, on the Cassia County School Day segment that we have every Thursday, it'll be on later today, we've talked about parents not showing up for the PTA, parents-teachers meetings, and really the problems that are going on are because the parents have basically abdicated the power and responsibility of being parents because they're just supposedly too busy to be involved with their children's lives. Well,
that is true. There are lots of parents. I know I attended every one of the back-to-school nights with the parents, for parents, and to all of the parent-teacher conferences, and I followed my kids all the way through. My girls do it with their kids. I know it's extremely important. However, because the parents don't show up at back-to-school night or whatever else doesn't mean that they should be out of the deciding what should happen with their own children.
Absolutely. But this deal about the government and the school system acting on behalf of the government to allow or even think about something so serious, something so psychologically damaging as a transgendering of their student or their child when the parents don't know about it, I just can't even perceive this.
Well, I can't either, and we all know, and I would challenge someone to, if they know the answer to this, call in and tell us what it is. That when the government gets in charge of something, how it has worked out for the best of all of us. Just somebody call and tell me if there's anything.
Yeah.
Because once the government gets their hands into stuff, it just goes downhill from there on out.
I've got to do a weather forecast real quick. And, Wheels, something clicked on the air a moment ago. Check it and make sure everything's still okay, if you would, please. Our weather brought to you this hour by Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. Burley and Rupert locations. And believe me, you want the best for your taxes and helping you with your business and your finances. They are the best. They have been supplying accounting services to the Mini-Cassia area for well over 50 years. Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. Don't forget, it's about the end of the year, so get your 1099s and W-2s out and plan all your tax planning before the end of the year. Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company, with offices in Burley and Rupert. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Going to be a little bit on the wet side for the next couple of days. Here is your Thursday weather forecast for Zev at the Ranch. 20% chance of rain showers is what we're expecting for today, looking at a high of 53. A little bit on the breezy side for today as well. Tonight we do have a slight chance of rain showers with a low of 35. For tomorrow, more rain showers are in the forecast, about a 40% chance, high of 52 with an overnight low of 34. For Veterans Day Saturday, we are expecting some rain showers in the morning. Those are going to give way to mostly sunny by Saturday afternoon, high of 49. Clear skies for Saturday evening with a low of 30. For Sunday, mostly sunny skies, high of 51, and clear skies for Sunday night with a low of 32. That is your weather for 7th.
Thank you very much, Gina. Brought to you by Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. I really believe in these folks. They can serve you. They've served me with the very best of taking care of accounting services for your tax return preparations, business consulting, payroll services, retirement planning, all of this and much more. Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company, with offices in Burley and Rupert. You know, Rita, as a society, I've got to ask you this. When I pick up stories that my wife helps me find, and we talk to various news agencies before we go on the air each morning back in Washington, D.C. and New York City, and you start talking about transgenders becoming involved in maybe being mayors or city council people or whatever, and you could come up with some kind of a comment that says they were running under false pretenses, but our society in general, we've really lost a moral attitude. We've lost a value system. We've lost what's right and wrong that we grew up in. And I'm really concerned that it's over. I just don't know about the morality in this country, and I sometimes wonder if it's over.
Well, it is, and that's become the choice of a lot of people. I mean, a lot of good people who say, hey, you know, I'm patriotic. I go to work every day, I make a living, I pay my own way and everything else. But, oh, no, I haven't talked to my kids about morality and the Ten Commandments and why we should be in church on Sunday and then practicing those principles that we learn at church on Sunday in our everyday lives and telling our kids, you know, you be good examples, and if you're around kids that don't have the same values that you do, you know, explain why you have good values and why you're willing to stand up and say, you know what, that's not what we do. And, I mean, these are the kinds of things that parents need to teach children. You don't just tell them once. You don't have a conversation with them when they're in trouble. You do it from the time that they're little. You show them by example that you're living that way, and you do the things that need to be done. You make the tough decisions, and hopefully that they will too once they've have decisions to make on their own. But until they're grown-ups and adults, Mom and Dad are in charge. Well, and Mom and Dad aren't always taking that role, and that's the part that's really sad. That's where the decline has come.
Yeah, and real quick, what we're talking about has been displayed over in China with those 3 UCLA basketball players that were over there to play in a tournament, and they were caught shoplifting in China. Now, number one, how dumb can you be in a foreign country, especially like China, to be picked up and arrested for shoplifting? And one of the parents who has been in the news a lot lately with his one son that plays professional basketball with the Los Angeles Lakers, here's what the dad said about his kid, freshman LiAngelo Ball, that got picked up for shoplifting. He said, he'll be fine. Everyone's making a big deal out of it. It ain't that big a deal. That tells me right there that these kids have been pampered bandits all of their life, and the parents have not done anything to tell their kids the right and the wrong.
Well, and that's the first big myth, is that it is a big deal. The second big myth is, have they not seen when we've had people that were in jail in foreign countries?
That's right.
And how
That's
difficult
right.
it was to get them back over things that were pretty insignificant. I mean, who in their right mind would want to break their law in a different country, especially a communist country where we don't have a lot of clout?
Amen. I just, the idiocy of this man, I followed him and some of his rantings over his one son that plays for the Lakers. But to say that when your son is picked up and arrested in a foreign country like China, oh, it ain't no big deal, that's about as dumb a statement that a parent could make.
Well, now we know why why somebody would do shoplifting is because apparently parents don't think it's a big deal.
I agree with you. You know, quickly, I've only got a minute and a half left. Rand Paul, riding a lawnmower, beat up. Not good to be out in your yard and get thumped on.
Well, that's really disgusting, and that's the other thing that's got out of control is people think they can just go and assault somebody, whether it's their next-door neighbor or their senator, and there's no consequences.
Yeah.
People need to be like human beings. Treat your neighbor like you're supposed to instead of like you're just an idiot.
I'm going to be really careful if I have to start mowing the lawn again this year if we do get a Indian summer continuance or next spring. So, man, I'm going to go out there and be heavily armed with a Hilrick Bradsby baseball bat.
Well, just make sure you have on one of those vests of protection, a big helmet, so they can't really get you.
Rita, I just absolutely enjoy having you on the program every Thursday. Any final thoughts? I got 30 seconds.
No, not really. Just want everybody to remember that this is a season that we need to have gratitude. We're grateful for this country that we live in and for those who have made sacrifices. And and thankful to the good Lord for all the blessings that we enjoy, and especially in this part of the country.
Amen. Rita Ramsey, thank you so much for being on the program this morning, and look forward to next Thursday. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
You
Bye.
betcha. Thank you. Oh, during the interview, Wheels, jump on the air just for a minute if you check something out for me. During the interview, about midway in the start, we heard a really big click in my headsets, and things changed a little bit. Did we have a kind of a power surge or something?
No, I was riding the gang a little bit too hot, and so I just pogged it down, and so I kept Riga a little bit lower than yours, and after that it cleared up.
Okay, I was going to say, you should have heard the explosion in my ears.
Yeah, no, on my end, I got a nice screeching sound in my headset, so I pogged her down a little bit.
Okay, well, I'll send the bill for my new hearing aids over to you. Okay, buddy, thank you. Hey, by the way, this time of the day, on Thursdays, we sit here, and I'm hungry. Yep, you know what's coming. And I'm starving to death. And I know some great places you can go if you're hungry. Listen, let's talk about the AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley. Pumpkin shakes, eggnog shakes, mint chocolate shakes. Oh, delicious. And don't forget, with a chicken fried steak sandwich or maybe a famous Farmer Brown burger, oh my goodness, you're going to love the food at the AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. Well, how about Taco Bandito? 2301 Overland in Burley. They got the pumpkin empanadas. Have you had one of those? Oh, good. And they've got new pork burritos with beans, pork, rice, sour cream, and cheese. Oh, my goodness. And also the breakfast burritos. And they've got bacon with jalapeno in it. Oh, delicious food all the time, anytime at Taco Bandito. 2301 Overland in Burley. Excuse me. Let's move over now to Burgers, Etc. 2 locations serving you, South Oneida in Rupert and 700 Overland in Burley. Oh my goodness, they are serving hot soup. Yep, hot soup. They've got different flavors every day, like on Mondays, cream of broccoli, Tuesday, cream of potato, Wednesday, ooh, I love chicken wild rice. Thursdays, they've got cream of broccoli, and Fridays, one of my all-time greats, chicken noodle. Oh, you're going to love the soups. You're going to love all the sandwiches. You're going to love everything at Burgers, Etc. South Oneida in Rupert and 700 Overland in Burley. Stop in and see them today. How about Steve-O's? Oh, my goodness. Food made the way you love it. And they're located at 290 South, 600 West of Hayburn. And don't forget to download a free app on your smartphone, and you can now order for Steve-O's without going there first. Excuse me for choking. And don't forget, you can order, and then it'll be ready when you go on in there to pick it up. Oh, my goodness sakes, Steve-O's. And they've got a new salad I've been talking about, the Chaos Salad, made up of chicken breast with bacon, pickles, jalapeno peppers, and all the goodies. You're going to love it. The people are so nice. You're going to love all the menu items at Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 West of Hayburn. And last but not least, Doc's Pizza, 514 6th Street in Rupert. Oh, you'd better reserve the upstairs now for your Christmas parties. Oh, they've got great room upstairs, affordable space for all your party needs, and they've got fresh-made soup and homemade chilies on Wednesdays, and they've got punch cards available now for returning customers. Oh, my, save you money. And buy 10 pizzas over there at Doc's Pizza, get the 11th free. Oh, it's good. Doc's Pizza, 514 6th Street in Rupert, right on the square. And those are just a few great places to go if you're hungry and starving to death. We're going to take a little break. Wheels is going to wheel us right into CBS News. I'll be back in about 7 minutes. Oh, here we go into the last hour for this Thursday, November 9th, and good morning to you. Brought to you by Zeb at the Ranch, brought to you by, of course, our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you, and along with some of our great advertisers like Western Waste Services, always at your disposal. Call them today at 734-6969. We're going to be having our school segment in just a few minutes, but right now I also want to remind you about some really good folks, and that, of course, is Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center at 924 Christian Way in Rupert. Now, here's the number. Write it down. Give them a call. Find out more. 436-3200. You know, they are the only locally owned and operated assisted living facility in the Mini-Cassia area, and they are really able to provide more one-on-one care, personalized help for each and every one of their persons that live there, residents that really need that little bit of extra help. I urge you to stop by, take a visit, take a tour of Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center, 924 Christian Way in Rupert. That number again, 436-3200. They're small compared to some, but with a bigger heart than most. I want to remind you, too, about our friends at Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox with the home comfort systems. Don't you forget it's going to get chilly and cold outside. And you'll be comfy inside with the Lennox home comfort system. All you have to do is call Ramsey's at 678-0459. Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox, saving you money. You get a hold of them today, 678-0459. Well, it's about high time. I got to make a mark here and a mark over here that we tell you a little bit about our next segment, and that's, of course, going to be Cassia County School Days. And Cassia County School Days brought to you by two great sponsors. Number one, A Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley. They've got all the fall dresses for the ladies. Don't forget, 20% off on those fall dresses. And a great place to buy baby furniture, baby clothing, birthday gifts, free gift wrapping. You'd better stop in there today. A family store serving you. And that's, of course, A Child's World, 1308 Overland in Burley. And also our friends at Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland Avenue in Burley. Number to call, 677-8888. For all your outpatient surgeries like life-saving colonoscopies and cataract surgery, carpal tunnel surgery, you check it out. Call them and find out more, 677-8888. Ambulatory Surgery Center, along with A Child's World, bringing you School Days in Cassia County. Right now, let's go to the phone line. Do we have him, Wheels?
No, sir. I haven't had the phone ring yet for Andrew Ray, so I'm not exactly sure.
Well, he'll hopefully be calling in the next 30 seconds. How's that?
All right, that sounds good.
I'll bet you lunch. I hope so. Okay. We're having Cassia County School Days, and Andrew Ray from Burley High School is going to be on the program with us this morning in just a very few minutes. And let's see, what else have I got cooking here for public service announcements? Oh, to the teams that are still qualified for the state football finals, and I shouldn't say the finals, but the preliminaries to go to the final championship game, good luck. We certainly hope you have a great weekend, all the schools that are here in the Magic Valley. Wheels, is he there?
No, sir. I still haven't had the phone ring yet.
This upsets me a great deal. Would you please try calling 670-3012? 3012. Okay?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right, call him right now and say, where are you?
Okay, will do.
All right, sir, thank you. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Monday on the program, I mentioned this earlier, and I want to thank my dear friend George Mass for this. At 9:30 on Monday, going all the way through till the end of the program, we will have our Salute to Veterans Day, and we're going to have a lot of really, really nice people on the program, and I just want to urge you to tune in and follow along our tribute to our Veterans Day. I know that we're going to have Georgia and Mike Greenwell. We're going to have J.R. Strunk. We're going to have Senator Kelly Anthem, Marv Hagedorn, and many others. And, George, thank you for all the time and the effort that you put into helping us organize for our Veterans Day program. Wheels, are we ready finally?
No, sir. I tried calling and it went to his voicemail.
You realize this is 2 weeks in a row? All right. Calls are welcome. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. And I'd love to hear from you. Kind of bail me out of a wreck. I don't know what happened to our teacher. And evidently he didn't get the memo. So we'll wait and see if he does call in. But in the interim, give us a call at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Let's see, what else have we got cooking here? Trying to think what else I have here. I saw a picture in the USA Today, yesterday's copy, I believe it was, of high school teams and many of the players taking a knee against our national anthem. And this just infuriates me. These kids probably haven't a clue as to, come here and sick 'em, as to what they're taking a knee for. High school players taking a knee and honoring Colin Kaepernick. It's just despicable what's going on. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hey, did you hear today about the IRS are going to start enforcing a rule that's been on the books for several years, but didn't enforce it in Obama, about something about the small businesses? There's a tax going to be against them, and it's going to be about a $10 billion income for, or cost the small businesses about $10 billion.
You know, Doug, either you're going to have to speak up or Wheels, you're going to have to turn him up, because I couldn't hardly hear a word he said. So ride that gain a little bit over there. Doug, I'm going to ask you to repeat that and speak up a little bit. Some reason the quality's not as high as it was earlier on the phone. So go ahead.
Yeah, about the IRS commissioner on his way out. He's starting to enforce a law that's been on the books for several years that they didn't enforce in the Obama administration, and it's going to cost small businesses about $10 billion.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now that if these nincompoops that are the head of the IRS, including Mr. Koskinen and others, want to do something that devastatingly stupid, I think all the small business owners should just sit back and say, no, come and get us. We're not going to pay you that kind of an absolutely insane rate.
Yeah, it's a law I've been on. I'm not sure exactly about it. I've been looking into it, but I was just wondering if you'd heard about it.
I followed it a little bit. I had a story on it about a week ago come through, Doug, and I did not give it all the credence I should have and read it and really put it on the air. But I'm going to look it up, and I'm going to have it on the air next Monday. I'll make a segment on that.
All righty.
Hey, buddy, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And these high school kids taking a knee?
Yes.
They needed what we got when we misbehaved when we were young.
They wouldn't take a knee, but they'd take a foot someplace else.
Exactly.
You got it.
I don't know how many times my dad told me, yeah, hit you so hard it's going to take a week for you to catch up to yourself.
You're sure your dad's not my dad's brother?
Well, he's an old German.
Okay. So. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it. All right, buddy. Thanks.
Okay.
Calls are welcome. 436-2244. Wheels, did you have something you wanted to throw in?
I did. While you were talking to Doug, the Miss Lovely Debbie Critchfield called in, so would you like to talk to her?
I would love to talk to Debbie. Debbie, 2 weeks in a row, our teachers seem to have lost their watches.
Yeah, and I'm going to blame these on our administrators. 2 weeks in a row. I apologize. I am not sure what has happened. I even reminded Andrew or Mr. Ray 30 minutes ago, don't forget. So, anyway, we could try to get him back on, and I know he was excited to talk about a club that they formed at Burley High School to encourage the education career and future teachers of America, or educators, I think is what they've called it.
You know, Debbie, do you see, on behalf of being the communications officer, when you look at the statistics and you check out things, whether it's California clear to New York, is there a diminishment in students wanting to become teachers?
Absolutely. And it's not, I mean, it's a national trend, but we're really feeling it in Idaho. We see, well, there's two problems. We see, number one, less people going into teaching as a as a profession. And number two, in Idaho, we have a distribution problem. And so we know that Boise State is graduating, a goodly amount of certified teachers. The problem is 90% of them stay in the Treasure Valley. And so we've got to figure out as a state how to grow our own people, how to encourage people to come into the more rural parts of the state, which Idaho is 70% rural, and what we do to retain folks once we get them.
Let me ask you this. I mean, does education in not only this state, but the Northwest in general, does it have to change its modus operandi as far as offering more of a pretty package of, here, we're going to offer you this and that? Really, what is lacking that teachers don't want to come up here and teach, or for that matter, nationwide?
I think there's a couple of things. One is a general perception that teachers as a whole maybe are looked down upon, that we need to elevate the profession more, that teachers have felt pretty beat up over time. Certainly compensation packages are important. Obviously, you get into your career so that you can provide for your family and earn a living. That's a harder one for me personally to tackle, because as a state, we put more than half of our general budget into education.
Yes.
And so to say we're not putting enough money into it, that it's hard to kind of balance that conversation. But clearly we're not maybe putting it in the right places, or, I'm not entirely sure how we go about looking at the fund, and if we need to, kind of shift and do some different things with the money we have, rather than just first instinct is to dump more money.
One of the things I've said on my program, regardless of the issue, I've said that in politics and our finances as taxpayers, you can't, as a politician, just say by throwing money at a certain circumstance or problem that's going to cure it. I get a little sick and tired of people thinking that the 5-letter word money is going to solve all the ills.
I agree with that. And like I say, where you look at our state budget and you say, well, we're investing more than half of our dollars, $1 billion or so, into education, and now you want to have more money into that. Those are the conversations that you sit down and say, where exactly are we putting the money? Is it in the places that makes the most sense? We do want to compensate our teachers fairly, and around us regionally, some of the states around us do pay more money. And if that's the case, how do we balance some of that, knowing that we want to be conservative with our dollars and put them where they need to be, where it makes the most sense.
Wouldn't it be, of course, I've never been a teacher per se for, signing a contract and teaching a math or a history or a geography course or whatever. But from my own insight into this problem, the package, the total package of being a teacher here in a much, I would think, better environment, not only for learning but also living, I think Idaho's got a lot more to offer than most states.
This is true, and we do hear that the quality of life is important. I'll tell you another thing that we've heard recently, outside again of our urban areas, is a lack of housing and a lack of job opportunities or somewhere. So if you have a spouse or someone, a married couple, one of them is a teacher, and they want to go move to some of these rural areas that I've talked about, there's nowhere for them to live. And in many cases, that person is more enticed to go if there's a job for their spouse. And I think that Cassia County, particularly this last year and looking forward, has done obviously a good job with our economic development and trying to satisfy some of these things. The housing inventory is low. Hopefully that can kind of catch up. But as you pointed out, the overall package that includes somewhere for them to live, it's kind of, I know it sounds kind of cheesy to say sort of the American dream thing, but you want people to be able to go and live somewhere, their spouse has a job, you have great quality of life, and they feel that their career choice is fulfilling in that sense.
Let me ask you this when it comes to our higher education, colleges and universities, Boise State, University of Idaho, Idaho State, and many, many others. Do we have, in your opinion, the adequate teaching fundamentals of higher education here for the students to stay right here in the state of Idaho?
Absolutely. So just as I referenced VSU earlier with graduates. So in the spring, they have their graduation in May. They graduated 190 teachers with a certificate. 90% of those 190 went immediately to the classroom. And 90% of that 90% stayed in the Treasure Valley. We've got to do something statewide with this teacher pipeline to either, like I say, grow our own people, identify people in the community who have experience in a field or have an interest, maybe circumstances have changed, and help those folks get a certificate and get them in the classroom. People that want to stay, that want to invest in the community, that want to be there long term.
Yeah.
Because we're not getting people into our more rural parts of the state.
I see.
And I think that speaks a little bit to equity. We want to make sure that around the state, that all of our classrooms and our students and schools have access to the same types of quality teachers that are more urban areas too.
Absolutely. Debbie, for 2 weeks in a row, you have been the life preserver. God bless Debbie Critchfield, Cassia County Schools Communications Officer.
Don't give up on us.
No, and I would say this. Let's you and I get together on the phone later, and we'll start a little fund drive to buy Mr. Andrew Ray a new wristwatch. How's that?
Done.
Okay. Thanks, Debbie Critchfield. God bless you. Thank you.
Have a good day.
All right. She is such a nice lady and so knowledgeable, the Cassia County Schools Communications Officer, and that's, of course, Debbie Critchfield. Thank you. Filling in, and she did a great job. Let's see, we're going to have our business salute momentarily. Stand by. Wheels, do we have our man ready to go with Western Way Services?
I am getting him on right now, sir. That
a boy. You're doing good. We're going to be talking to one of our long time sponsors on this program and advertisers, and that's Western Way Services. And their slogan really is true, always at your disposal. And we're going to have Joe on the phone with us in just a moment. While I'm waiting, I want to remind everybody about Quality Comes First, a great big bull and female sale at Molson, Angus, and Hereford Ranch. And the Molson Barn is at 3135 Elmore Road between Parma and Fruitland. And the big days are November 18th, and the cattle are going to be on display all day. And then November 19th, oh my goodness, they're going to have a tri-tip dinner at noon, sale at 1 o'clock. You do not want to miss this sale. One of the all-time great sales of cattle in the state of Idaho. Don't forget, get up there at between Parma and Fruitland, 3135 Elmore Road, Molson, Angus, and Hereford sale. This is going to be one of the best ones. And the number to call Josh for more information, 739-0725. Good morning, Joe over at Western Waste. How are you?
Doing good, Deb. How are you?
Well, right now I'm doing peachy, and I would imagine that as we get closer and closer to Thanksgiving and then edging closer to Christmas, I would imagine that Western Way Service is pretty doggone busy at this time of the year.
Yeah, we are. Definitely we're finishing up with harvest, and a lot of people are trying to get the last bit of cleanup projects and construction projects done before winter comes. So, yeah, we're pretty busy right now.
You know, let me ask you this, Joe. Give a little case scenario. Somebody's new, they move into the area. Let's say that they live like I do over here at Murtaugh, or maybe they live over at Jerome, or maybe they live someplace else, and they don't know who to contact for their picking up their trash. And I tell everybody to call, of course, our friends at Western Waste at 734-6969. Is it a big deal to get on the weekly trash pickup, or is it just as easy as snapping your fingers?
It's just as easy as snapping your finger, to be honest. Give us a call at 734-6969. Any of the girls can talk to you on the phone. We got 4 of them in the office that'll take the calls, and we can get you on the route. Or if you would like, you can go to our website, gowesternwaste.com. All the information's in there. You can actually send a request to the website that goes to either me or Billy, and we get those requests. I'll give you a call on the phone. I'll basically build a system for you that fits your budget or your needs, and we can get you on the route.
Okay, now another thing, too, there's a lot of people, and I should be doing this myself right here in my office. I should open up the back window and just get one of your dumpsters and start pitching and throwing. Tell us about the different size dumpsters and how they get them on their property, and then what do you do after they're all filled up?
Yeah, we offer several different size containers for, temporary service or cleanup. A lot of our customers are taking either a 3-yard or a 6-yard dumpster. they can just give us a call. We bring them in. We'll set them in place. You can fill them up. You only get charged, when we come to dump it. So you tell us how many times you want it dumped. If you do have a lot of stuff you would like to get removed, we do offer the 30 cubic yard roll-off, which is a 22-foot-long container that we'll put in your property, and you can put, basically anything and everything in it. And you give us a call, and we haul it off for you.
Another thing, too, that I think is really a great idea are the Go Minis, portable storage units. Now, how does that work? Do they bring them right? Do you bring them right to their property, and then they can store things? Or if they don't have room on their property, they can store it on your property? Tell us about that.
Yeah, definitely. We're the franchised holder for Go Minis here in the Valley. And you just give us a call. We have 3 different sizes. We have a 12-foot, we have a 16-foot, and we have a 20-foot storage container. They're all 8-foot wide and 8-foot tall. They just vary in length. You give us a call. We'll put it in your driveway on your property. You can store things in it. Like you said, if you don't have room, you give us a call. We have a secured facility here at our office, and we'll bring that container over to our office. We put it to where you can get into it. You're welcome to come get stuff out of it and put more stuff into it any time. And what a lot of people have been doing is if you're moving, say, from Murtaugh to Castleford, we'll bring a container to you in Murtaugh, drop it in your driveway, you put all your stuff in it, we'll haul it to your new house and put it right in your front door at your new house for you.
Oh, my goodness.
We'll take care of all that for you.
Wow. And last but not least, and I don't want to overlook anything, but, I would imagine that the porta potty business never really runs too slow, does it?
No, it stays pretty busy with all the construction going in the valley and stuff like that. We're definitely busy with that. So, yeah, we're constantly putting new units out. More people are calling us. It's just as simple as the garbage and the Go Minis. You give us a call. One of us will talk with you about, what do you need? How many people do you have on site? We'll design a system for you. We'll deliver it to you same day or the very next day in the morning. We'll bring it to you and get you on the route, and we'll take care of you.
Joe, I really appreciate the fact that we've been with you personally for many, many years right here, and I can almost set my watch when they pick up my garbage on Thursday. You have a very efficient staff.
Yeah, we do, and we appreciate every one of our drivers. I mean, we're only as good as our people that are on the front lines. And we're very fortunate to have one of the best crews, we believe, in the whole southern half of Idaho. And each one of our guys, they love their job. They love what they're doing. And we have lots of people that call us and say, hey, we remember garbage is at this time because your guys within 2 minutes of every week on that dot. And we're just very fortunate to have a very good crew.
And the easiest way to call Western Waste Services and find out more, tell us, Joe, please.
208-734-6969.
You're a good man, and I want to extend a very happy Thanksgiving to you, Joe. God bless you, and thanks for coming on the air.
You too, Zeb. Thank you very much.
All right. Western Waste Services, always at your disposal. Call them at 734-6969. They've been on my program for a long time, and they are appreciated. Thank you. Coming up this next hour, we're going to talk about tax reform with Jeff Cantor, so stay tuned for that. But right now, we're going to send it back over to our main studio. Wheels, take it away.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
And a good morning as we sail into our last 30 minutes of the program on Zeb at the Wheels, did you have something?
Well, to let you know, I'm still not able to get Jeff Cantor on the phone either for you.
You know, this is a great way to end the week. I have a teacher that is missing, and then we have a guest that's missing, and I'm sitting here wondering why I didn't stay gone from yesterday.
Well, to be honest with you, too, Andrew Ray had called in during the funeral announcements. He had told me that he was in a meeting that he was not able to get out of. I told him just to call you after his...
Yeah, that's great. Okay, what about Mr. Cantor? Would you keep trying to get a hold of him? I would appreciate it.
I definitely can,
Okay.
but I can't promise that I will be able to get him on the phone for however.
All right, well, do your best. Keep trying. Thank you very much. Calls are welcome and really appreciated at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I got a chuckle. Might as well laugh about it because, man, it's a crazy day today. Give us a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Love to hear from you regarding any of our stories this morning. So far, Deanne, you want that sheet? I don't know what I did with it. I had it right here. Here we go. And you'll try to get a hold of them. And we talked a little bit about the California NAACP trying to stop and curtail our national anthem. They think it is a white nationalist song and it causes too much diversity. They don't like it. They think it's dividing our nation. What are your thoughts on that? We can talk about that, or we can talk about the stupidity of these 3 UCLA basketball players that were caught shoplifting in China. I mean, we've already seen the problems that occurred when a young man was over in North Korea, and my goodness, literally it cost him his life. And you would think that somebody... Yes, sir.
I just got Jeff on the phone.
Thank you very much. We have him on the air. You scared me there, Jeff Cantor. I thought maybe you had cantered away from me.
I have been a little distracted here today. Things are crazy during open enrollment. I apologize.
No,
I'm here.
That's all right. Listen, I will say this, and then I want you to pick up on it. I would say that health care plus tax reform plus the Republicans equals nothing. Why can't the Republicans get out of their own way and get something moved through that's going to benefit the American people?
What a great question, and there's such a simplistic answer to it, though, frankly. It doesn't matter whether it's the Democrats or Republicans or whatever that topic is. The sad reality is that every single bill that they're constructing in Washington is designed to appease every single person, which means it can't be done. And so as a consequence, their attempts to try to, instead of trying to do what's right or pick the proper approach, they're just trying to figure out how do we incorporate every single thing so that everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And therefore no one's going to be happy because someone's ox is going to get gored in that process. And what they don't want to admit to is that they just need to withdraw. And we always like to point to LASIK eye surgery, which no one's involved in politically, no government political parties, no insurance, nothing. It's just out there like any other normal product to the consumer. And what's happened with it is it's proliferated, the prices have dropped precipitously, and the quality's shot up, just like every other consumer market product in America, except for the one we can't get the politicians to leave alone.
You know, and let me ask you this, Jeff. I have been an advocate of why should we? Why should we as a nation and our politicians and our bureaucrats, why should they be working and spending all this time on health care? It's not in our Constitution. It's not a guaranteed right. I have always maintained that we're messing in something that is a personal responsibility, and I'm sick and tired of being bogged down in the mud with things that need to be done when we're trying to be a catch-all by the government.
Yeah, it's a sad reality, and a lot of people pick sides, and they think, well, you know, what about the indigent? And there's a whole variety of people to kind of bring in there that they always use as the what-ifs of the world, but I'll start with a very simple premise. If I'm in the doctor's office, and there's my doctor, and it's kind of an old-world relationship where there's no office staff and all the insurance, it's just kind of let's go back in time, and they come in, and they help me, and I pay them. Okay, now we flash forward, and now in addition to me and the doctor in that room, there's some other third entity in some respect. How can that relationship become cheaper in any way, shape, or form when there's a third person in the food chain? They want to get paid, and more importantly, in this world today, they want to influence what's going on inside that room. So you're absolutely correct. It needs to get back to that basic relationship where we don't have that interference anymore.
Well, you know, Jeff, honestly, I believe the way things are going with the Democrats pushing for the single payer and the Republicans not getting anything done and trying to tie the health care mandate to the tax reform, they're just aiding and abetting a single payer insurance in this country, which is going to be the elimination of any sound health insurance in the nation from here on in. Am I wrong?
No, and you're right about why, it's not like they're deliberately trying to do it or sabotage it or be in cahoots with the Democrats, but they themselves have so many constituents that they're trying to placate, they can't get together on a single page either. And, the realities of the Affordable Care Act were not loved and universally by the Democrats, but at least it was something, so that at least they could get their act together to vote in tandem and get the thing passed, as abhorrent as it may be. But I just was relayed a recent story in the UK to give you a future of where things would go if we had such a system. If you're over a certain age and you're losing your eyesight, they can't afford to fix both your eyes, so they conduct the test, operate on the one good eye, and then they give you an eye patch for the other eye.
Oh, boy.
So that's kind of where the thing goes because eventually you have to get to rationing, and something, you're a little too old for that surgery, so you're going to just have to suffer. We'll put you on some pain pills instead. And no one can foresee. It just seems like the immediate benefit would be so good, but no one sees the long-term effect of these decisions.
Well, we really are, Jeff, turning into a hemlock society. I mean, look at the abortion issue on the one end, and look at the elderly being told, well, we can't afford to take care of you, just go die. We are looking at, I think, a new hemlock society in the United States.
It's a scary thought. I mean, in some of those states where they're legalizing euthanasia, and there makes some sense if somebody's terminally ill, when Jack Kevorkian was in the news all the time. But yes, eventually that starts morphing into, you're a little bit too old and maybe you should just do this instead. And, all these surgeries are going to cost a lot of money, and what are you going to live only a few more months? So here, why don't you just drink this instead? So there's definitely going to be a push for that eventually, that people would say, oh, it'll never come to that, but it's happening in the world right now.
Jeff, you study this every day and you comment on it every day, but I guess the obvious question I've got is, and it's a simple question, why? Why can't the Republicans, with control of the House, control of the Senate, control of the Oval Office, why can't they get any legislation through? Why are they so timid, and or why are they so slow and stupid in pushing forth an agenda that's going to work?
Sadly, it comes back down to why did the Founding Fathers kind of construct the system that they did? Because they understood that no one could conceptualize well enough that the government's job was to stay out of the involvement in all of these different things and just be the referee, make sure contracts are honored, that people are, treat each other correctly in the legal mentality, and basically be the referee. But now they seemingly need to be involved in every aspect of every part of your life. And again, they're trying to appease everybody, and they're suffering all of them, because again, who gravitates to be in government or who chooses to be in the military now that it's a volunteer, the type of person that wants to do that, and they're not forcing others in there. Dr. Hayek greatly said the fatal conceit is what's causing all this to occur, and that is really the bottom line in any of these issues. They themselves think they're smarter than everybody else, and they can foresee the future and know better for you what's good for you than you yourself do. And it's pretty amazing when they reach that level of conceit when it comes between you and your doctor, a person who went to multiple years of medical school, and somehow they think they're smarter than that person. It's a dangerous formula what's going on in Washington on many, many fronts, but especially on this one, because here we're talking about your health. Lighting in a room or desk height, it may be aggravating, but it's not going to kill you. This will be your demise.
So what do we do, Jeff? I mean, I've had many people on talking about Obamacare and how the costs and the lack of coverage and everything is just literally blowing up in their faces. What can America do? We always get the same answer. Call your congressman, call your senators. But then again, we get a form letter, and it's very frustrating. What can we do?
Well, it comes down to self-reliance as usual, because even in this recent horror of this shooting in Texas, that it was an individual, not the police, not the government, because they're an after-the-fact situation. Everything that the government or anybody else does is after the problem has occurred, then we step in to fix it and mop it up after the fact. So as the consumers or the individuals there took control themselves, and the same thing holds true in the medical profession. To sit there with your hand out and beg of the government or some insurance company, it's like putting your own garden in the backyard. Get control of, if you don't like the pesticide-infected food at the store, then have your own garden. And the same thing holds true in the medical world. You are able to take control of your own medical world by withdrawing from all the mechanisms that are trying to control you. There's cash-paying doctors. There's sites you can look up. You can track down medications. There's a lot of tools available to consumers. They just don't know that they're out there, and they're either apathetic or too busy in their everyday life to learn about all these options, because these options are not high profitable entities that can afford high levels of advertising to force their way into your consciousness. You need to be proactive as a consumer. All the good stuff is hidden from view. You go to a little town, what do you see? McDonald's and this, all the commercial stuff. But the killer little restaurants are on that back street. You need to dig.
You know, I would say this, and I want you to respond and tell me if I'm wrong. I'm a big boy. I can take it. But we're really not going to get health care costs under some kind of an umbrella and be able to control health care costs until we control also another major problem in this country, and that's immigration, whether it's illegal or whether it's legal. That is a major problem that's really soaring health care costs today. Would you agree with that?
Oh, totally. It's driving a lot of costs, because if we built this mechanism where everyone has expectations that they're entitled to this stuff, and you're bringing more and more people on board, those entities that want to maintain their position want more and more customers, as it were, to validate their reason to exist. And so, you know, the idea of immigrants coming in is all well and good, and I'm certainly not adverse to that, but to do it in an uncontrolled fashion and to immediately have such a huge social network, because it's one thing if you've lived here your whole life and paid into Social Security and Medicare, you know, you've kind of paid a little of your own freight. But here people come in and they're on these systems within months or within a year. They've put nothing contributed into that system. So, yeah, they're just blowing it up even bigger and bigger every single day. And they never seem to be able to say no. I mean, this Republican budget is going to blow up the deficit. Well, that used to be, you know, a terrible sin to them, but yet somehow now that's okay.
You know, the answer, I'm not even sure what the answer is, but the Democrats are walking around like proud turkeys out in the back of the farmyard after they won 2 governorships this last week and some of the other smaller races. But going into 2018, I think the Republicans and people that are concerned about the status of America and not going completely left and not going completely single payer, this is hanging in the balance, and we've got less than a year to get this thing fixed. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's going to be, because, again, the consumer, you know, there's only that small percentage that are really aware of what's happening in a broader way. Most just feel how it touches them personally, or kind of what their favorite radio station or TV show tells them. And so, yeah, unless they can see or touch some definitive differences, like if that income doesn't go up, you know, they're going to blame the president kind of a thing. The same thing's going to happen here, too. We're going to fall backwards into a single-payer mentality. And everyone's going to kind of wake up and go, how the heck did this happen to us?
Jeff, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and a little background before I let you go this morning.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. Well, unfortunately or fortunately, I've been a serial entrepreneur, and so I've been trying to work on problems and then come up with solutions wherever they cropped up. And I fell into the health world many, many years ago, and largely was dealing with the health insurance side of it. But when the opportunity arose with the Affordable Care Act, it was an opportunity to actually accelerate some of the ideas and things that I've been working on with others for several years, because it took that Affordable Care Act. You know, if we just kind of muddled along like we'd been, we'd probably still be piddling like we were. But when the President Obama created this plan that was so dramatically different, it stirred up the pot so immensely, it allowed all these other opportunities to burble up the unintended consequences of that act. And what happened initially was that the consumers became aggravated because they were told they could keep their doctor and that the prices would be low, and both of those didn't hold true, so they kind of got miffed at that part of it. But then when that reached its conclusion, then they began to tinker with the doctors, and those are the people delivering the service, and they've subsequently aggravated them. So here's this big system. It's 2 components. It needs the patient and the doctor. They've aggravated and alienated the 2 most important people in their world. And so for me, that became a beautiful opportunity to let the whole industry recapture itself, because it needed both sides to be mad for them to reconnect, because they were blocked by these third parties, either government or pharmaceutical companies or insurance companies, and the patients and doctors could never connect. But now we've been able to connect them back together again and start to work where it always belonged, from the bottom up, not coming from the top down to everybody.
Now, what about you, Jeff, every day? You're connected with this. Do you have a special firm? Tell us a little bit about yourself personally.
Well, we did end up creating an entity over the last several years, which has taken off quite dramatically at this point. We have a page set up for it called healthexcellenceplus.com, and you can learn all about the different levels that make up the reality of what we call a healthy care strategy. Because I kind of analogize with having a home. Getting homeowners insurance doesn't do the trick. You're going to need to do landscaping, painting. There's a lot of maintenance. So you need a team, and so you need a healthy care strategy, not just some singular thing to worry about paying only for some medical bills. And most importantly, and this is what we've destroyed in this world, our world, is the idea of having a good, sensible diet. We're all into like fast food and processed foods, and then everybody can't figure out why their health is deteriorated.
Right.
So all of those separate elements have boiled up to this fever pitch, and the timing was totally right for you, me, and all the rest of the consumers in this country to take back control of what is rightfully ours, control of our health.
Let me ask.
That's what drives me every day, and all the people we work with, the doctors, the associations, the suppliers of nutrient supplements, and all the rest of that kind of stuff. They're all eager to finally connect with the consumer directly.
Absolutely.
So created a sandbox for all that to take place.
Let me ask you one final thought, Jeff. Short answer, I got about 2 minutes left. But with the way healthcare is going in this country, my fear, and tell me if I'm wrong, my fear is for a lack of young people wanting to get into medicine, whether it's to be hands-on doctors or to go into medical research, because if the government's got control of the money, they're not going to pay the wages. They're not going to have the implementation for these people to really want to get involved in research and study the cures of cancer. I think we're going to see a complete depletance in everything that's necessary for a progressive civilization.
You know, sadly, you've thought pretty far ahead, because you're right on that. This has been a thing we've been talking about for quite some time, because having worked with a lot of doctors, the ones that are senior, they're back into their career, they're taking early retirement because they don't like the meddling. If there's others are controlling, instead of seeing a patient for 45 minutes, they're limited to 15 minutes. So they don't like how it's interfered. And I've had doctors tell me that I would normally have told my kids to become a doctor, and now I tell them to become a welder. So what does that mean? And there's a little old joke that, what do they call the person who graduated absolutely dead last in their medical class? They call them doctor. So it doesn't matter about whether you're going to get that good doctor or that poor caliber doctor, but if the good doctors don't want to be in the profession anymore, what are you and I going to be left with? The person who was a busboy at Taco Bell the day before? It's going to be real scary where we're going to end up. You're 100% right on the negative consequences, because the provider we need is the one we won't have. We'll have all the technology and the HIPAA laws and all the reporting and every other thing, but we won't have a doctor.
Absolutely.
You're right on it.
Jeff Cantor, please come back in the future. I've enjoyed having you on the program. God bless, and I'll be in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thanks everyone else for joining us today.
Thank you, sir. Very interesting, and the man knows health care, and I'll have him back. You can bet on that. Right now, we're going to do the weather forecast. I'm almost out of time, and I forgot about my weather. My goodness, Scarro's Meats. Don Scarrow and the crew at 331 North Road, Jerome. The number to call and find out more, 324-7657, or you can go to their website, scarrowsmeats.com. What a wonderful, delicious retail meat department over there at Scarrow's Meats. I'm telling you, we've had Don on the program many, many times. I'm going to try to get him back on the show this next week, and I'll guarantee you the meats from Scarrow's Meats, absolutely delicious. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Going to be a little bit on the wet side for the next couple of days. Here is your Thursday weather forecast for Zev at the Ranch. 20% chance of rain showers is what we're expecting for today, looking at a high of 53. A little bit on the breezy side for today as well. Tonight we do have a slight chance of rain showers with a low of 35. For tomorrow, more rain showers are in the forecast, about a 40% chance, high of 52 with an overnight low of 34. For Veterans Day Saturday, we are expecting some rain showers in the morning. Those are going to give way to mostly sunny by Saturday afternoon, high of 49. Clear skies for Saturday evening with a low of 30. For Sunday, mostly sunny skies, high of 51, and clear skies for Sunday night with a low of 32. That is your weather for Zev at the Ranch.
Gina, thank you. You do a great job on that weather forecast. We appreciate it. And the weather brought to you by Scarrow's Meats. Delicious. 331 North Road, Jerome. Go to their website, scarrowsmeats.com. But I'll tell you what, just stop over there, take the time, and enjoy the delicious meats from Scarrow's Meats, because they're changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time. Wow. As I mentioned, and I'm going to mention it again, and Wheels is going to help us out for Monday when we have our Veterans Day salute. We're going to be playing a lot of patriotic music next Monday. We've got some great guests lined up to be here in the studio this next week and on Monday. And I want to thank my dear friend George Mass for all of his help in lining this up. It's going to start at about 9:30 on Monday morning, and we're going to have a salute to Veterans Day all the way to the end of the program at 11. Right now, I also want to remind you about our dear friends and major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Woo, boy, doing the right thing matters, and they do the right thing. They've got all the tires for safe wintertime driving. Better get ready for it. They've got the tires for the cars, the pickups, the SUVs. They've got all the tire chains. And by the way, if you're going to be driving out there this winter, make sure that you check out the brakes. They've got the best highly trained technicians for the brake service on your vehicle. Front end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries. Can't emphasize enough about having a good battery that's going to turn over that engine and get you started. They've got the best right there at all 7 locations. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers with Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family and Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland and Burley. Get ready for winter driving at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. The best. Well, we made it through the week and had a couple of no-shows, but we made it through the week. And we're looking forward to be back here next Monday on November 13th. As I said a moment ago, Veterans Day salute. Got a lot of great guests coming on. I thank you, the audience, for tuning in. Don't forget, we're right here in this area, K-Bar 1230 a.m., and then streaming live on the internet all over the world on ZebBell.com. Don't forget, if you want to get my Cow Pies and Coffee Cups blog, all you have to do is go to ZebBell.com, hit the buttons, and put your address in there, and we'll make sure we get it mailed to you. It comes out once a week. Until next Monday at 8:06, we're going to say goodbye to Wheels and hope he has a great weekend. Take care over there, itty-bitty buddy. Be careful over there, okay?
I definitely will, sir, I promise.
And I hope all of our guests will be on time next week and not cause you any duress.
I hope not. I'm telling you, when they don't answer, you should see the hairs on the back of my neck stand up.
I have the same feeling. Wheels, take care of yourself. God bless. And the way things were, the way things ought to be. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday at 8:06.